Hi, I'm Matthew Nash,
I'm Jason Egan.
and we're the co-directors, writers, creators of Walk Away. Thank you for watching our film at the Indie Horror Film Festival.
Thank you.
Jay, what was the origin of Walk Away?
The origin was this cabin that is in my family that we go to often, just hanging out there and wanting to do a project forever on a much bigger, more serious level. And there's so many tropes of cabin in the woods. So we started there, and then I've always been interested in the idea of people being trapped in a location. And I definitely think all of those restrictions kind of force you to work in interesting ways, maybe. So it just started there, right?
I just remember eventually it got to the point where we were just like, what if there is no monster? What if,
Right.
hell is other people and
Right.
they just can't leave?
And then the reality of like 5 people in that space, which I understood extremely well these past few months myself with my family. But
Well, I was going to say,
I wish we could have done this now. I mean,
well, yeah,
knowing the things that I learned
we wrote and shot this thing before quarantine.
right before, right? I
And it's
mean,
really interesting
unbelievably.
to see how similar it is. I mean, some of the comments that we got from people are like, why don't they freak out? Why don't they panic? And you don't really panic. Like the first week of quarantine, nobody really freaked out. They just were like, how do I accept this new normal? Or how do I get out of this?
Yeah.
Or it'll change, or
Yeah.
things will go back to normal. And it's a much slower burn.
Right. And I think the freakouts come out in different ways, obviously. You're looking at these little slices of life, and some of them are very mundane and stupid, because I think that's an important part of this, right? It's not, I mean, you're watching a movie, you want it to be interesting, exciting. But I think an important part of being in this place for a really long, indeterminate time is the monotony and the boredom. And I definitely wanted to hit on that a little bit. But
Well, let's talk about production. We shot with actors on set for 3 times. We shot in May, July, and October. How do you think shooting in that way over such a long period of time affected the...
I think that was, I mean, I'm sure you'd agree, that was the ideal situation. It was nice to come back to it with everyone and have that like camaraderie already from the last time. And also the seasons were changing, the location is changing.
I mean, we learned a
helpful.
lot
It's
about
totally
shooting at that location, which is very remote and very different.
Right.
Also, the spacing gave us time to reshoot and to write new scenes. So even on our very small budget,
that was big,
being able to reshoot some key scenes, it's impossible to describe how difficult it is to work within a $50,000 budget constraint, filming in the woods with no reliable electricity. I mean, there was a lot to sort out.
With that amount of money that we had, was like, well, it's basically going to these 3 things. And the rest of it, we're just gonna figure it out.
I mean, we were blessed by having a really talented team far beyond our budget. Things like the scene with Faith and the fire. Thank God Joey is an amazing camera operator and cinematographer who could set up in a way that the fire was all safely placed and looked dramatic and looked scary, but actually wasn't as dangerous as it could have been.
That kind of seat of your pants, like kind of we're not thinking about it too hard that it becoms a hindrance or something. It's just, well, this is happening, so here we go. Let's go, everybody. And that excitement of that Steadicam shot through 3 times through the, that getting that was, really fun. That was like the most exciting day, because everything had to happen perfectly, and it was like, we can do this. You just keep on the walkies, you're like, come on guys, okay, reset, let's do this again, we're gonna get it. That was like that kind of pressure that happens from having no money and no time and everything else. That was the best part of it, for sure.
Thank you for watching our film. Thank you for including our film in the festival. And keep an eye on 454productions.com and walkawayfilm.com for more of what we're going to be doing.